Hey there guys, in this demonstration video I'm gonna show you how to download, install and configure PostgreSQL database on your local machine. So open up your browser and type in PostgreSQL download and click on the first link, and on this page you will get the packages and installers that are supported for each of the operating systems, and also you get the initial information here regarding the PostgreSQL and their third-party support. And go ahead and select your operating system, and here on this page you will get the information regarding the platform support of each of these PostgreSQL versions. So go ahead and check that, and for download just click on the download installer. So this will take you to the actual download page where you will get the additional information regarding the version and the supported OS for it. Select yours. As you can see, since 11.13 actually PostgreSQL does not have any support for the Linux machines and also the Windows 32-bit machines. So find an adapter if it's available if you want to use the latest PostgreSQL version for your on your local Linux machine. So go ahead and check that, and I'm gonna download the latest one, as I'm using the Windows 64-bit. And also you get the some additional information regarding the database and its support with different technologies. So go ahead and check that. So I'm gonna download this one. So it will take me to the um, tutorials, resources and training page, and apart from that there will be a pop-up window which will ask me to download the binary file. So I already have that saved on my local machine, so I'm not gonna save it. So in your case, if it's not downloaded before, so go ahead and click on the save file button. So I'm gonna cancel it for now. So on this page you will get all the available resource link here. Go ahead and check those. I think these are really helpful in order to get things going. So since we have downloaded it, so let's install it now. So I'm gonna go there. Oh, sorry about that. So here's going to be so execute your binary file, PostgreSQL installation file. Okay. So from the setup window, just click on the next first, and then choose your installation directory. And here on the components section, by default all the components are chosen to be installed on your system. So just one thing to clarify here, that pgadmin 4, if you do not know what it is, this is basically the similar to the MySQL Workbench, the UI tool to handle the all the database operations right from the user interface or from the GUI application. Okay, so this is pgadmin, actually comes along with the PostgreSQL client or the PostgreSQL release package that we are installing here. So that's the good thing. So we will keep it selected, and also PostgreSQL server should be selected as well. And if you want the command line tools to be activated or installed along with this installation, so keep this selected. I would suggest that keep all this for selected. And if you do not know what is Stack Builder is basically a GUI based dependency manager, okay, for PostgreSQL. For example, sometimes you may need to have some additional component to work along with some operations, PostgreSQL operations. So in that case, this stack builder will fix those dependency issues. Okay, so that's the basic idea. So I'm gonna keep this all this selected for now and clicking next. So data directory, where you want to put your installation data, I'm gonna leave it as it is. So click next, click next, click next, and so installation will be started. So it will take a while, so I will come back once it's done. Okay, here one thing, that at first it will give you a warning message that if any of the previous pgadmin server is already running on your machine, so please shut it down before actually installing this one. So since we are making a fresh installation, so in our case this is not a valid warning. So we're gonna click OK. So the installation has started, so I will come back once it's done. So once while the installation is done, right off the bat we will see something like this, that it will ask us to either select or skip this stack builder component download and installation. So for this demonstration video, actually I'm gonna skip this because right now we are not gonna be needing any additional dependencies for our PostgreSQL database related operations. So I'm gonna unselect this one and click finish. So let's open up the pgadmin 4 tool. So this tool actually is coming along with the component as I have shown you earlier. So basically pgadmin is the management tools for PostgreSQL that is similar to the MySQL Workbench. And basically, you can monitor the processes that are running on the server or the database, and also can do all the necessary operations right from the user interface. So here we get the window where it's asking for a password. So literally you can actually skip this part, but I would always suggest you to provide a password so that no unauthorized user can actually access to your database server. Okay, so set a master password. So right off the bat, we get the home page, which actually tells us about the tool and also the PostgreSQL database in general. So go ahead and check those links. And also, it's always better to, always a good practice to check the documentation to get things started pretty quickly. So go ahead and check that. And on the left side, we are getting the servers node. If we expand it, we get the available servers. Right now we have the PostgreSQL 14 server. And if we click on the server, on the right side on the dashboard, right now we are getting the processes that are running at this moment on the server. And also we get the session information right on the server activity node. And also besides that, you can also get the other relevant informations as well. And apart from the dashboard, we get the properties tab. That server properties information are can be seen here. Go ahead and check that. And also the SQL tab is there. Basically, if you on the left side, if you execute any DB query or DB operation, basically you will get the SQL query right here. So it's basically a nice learning tool as well. If you do not know some certain queries, so if you execute some operation right here, you will get the queries on this node or on this tab. So on the statistics, it will give you the stats, session stats. And on the dependencies tab, it will show you if any this server has any additional or third-party dependencies added with it. Right now there is none. So on the dependent section, if any other servers or external application is depending on this server as well, so there is no dependent as well. So underneath this server node, we get the list of databases for this server. Right now we have only one, that is the default PostgreSQL database. So, and if we just expand this Postgres, as you can see, there are a whole bunch of um, information and things that are related to the Postgres database. So for this demonstration, I'm not going over too deep with this section. Rather, I'm gonna just execute few demo queries related to table. Like we'll create a table and then add some data in there and probably do some basic operations from there. So I suppose that we have one table here, so I'm gonna delete that and recreate the table again. So right now we do not have any table, right? If we refresh, there is no table here. So let's create one table. So right click on the tables node, and on the from the create section or create menu, click on table, and it will allow us to create our table from this user interface. So give a table a name, let's say user table. Okay, so the owner is, let's say, a Postgres as it is. Schema, let's keep it public. For table space, I'm going to select the PG default. And so for partitioning, we can actually partition the table. So right now I'm not gonna I'm gonna skip this partitioning part altogether from this demonstration, because this is just the basic demonstration video. But in the coming videos, there will be, hopefully there will be videos regarding partitioning and also the sharding. Okay, so those concepts will be covered in the future, while if we actually work with some application development, which obviously it will happen, hopefully, if Almighty wills. So let's go to the column section and add some. Right now there is no column, so let's add some column here. So let's give let's create our first column, give it a name ID. The data type is going to be big int, and so it's going to be not null, and I want it to be primary key. And also I want this ID to be auto generated. Okay, so what we need to configure that, obviously. So on the left side of that column name you get the edit row button, so click there, and below you get another section where we can actually find some additional tabs for this column. So go to the constraints tab, and here by default the type is none. That means that for each row generation you have to provide a value. Okay, so since we want it to be auto generated, we're going to select the identity, and that's it. And if you have, I mean, if you want to put an additional expression, you can just select the generated one and put your expression right here. So for this demonstration I'm going with the identity one. So let's create another column here, give it an field name, and data type is going to be character varying, or varchar, what we say. So it's also going to be not null. And let's create another column, let's give it a name country. So it's going to be the same as the previous one, character varying, and also going to be not null. So that's basically it. So I'm going to save it. So here we have got the table user, and under this table we get the three columns: ID, name, country. So if we click on the table and try to see the data we have on this table, so as you can see there is no data right now. So let's insert some data here. So again, right click on the table node, on the scripts menu. From here just select the insert script. So we get the default query here to insert data. So since we are going to generate the ID automatically, so I'm going to skip that or remove that ID column name from there, and also from the value section as well. So here we're going to put the name, let's say user 01, and the country, let's say ABC. I just don't want to put some real name here. Let's copy this a couple more times and give it a name, uh, user 2, XYZ, and or XYZ, and here user 3, UGD. So now let's execute this query, and as you can see the query has been executed successfully. And so now let's try to find the inserted data here on the database. So while we are executing the select query, we are getting like there are three tuples here in the database. So tuples or three rows here. Okay, so again, so if you want to actually delete this, delete entry from this table, select the delete query here. And here as you can see we need to put some condition here. Let's say condition where ID is equal to 1. We want to delete this, the first entry from this table. So let's execute it, and it returned, I mean the query executed successfully. Let's execute that again. As you can see the entry with ID 1 has been removed from the table. So much easier. It is much easier to work with the management tools, DB management tools like MySQL Workbench, pgadmin 4. Such tools allow the developers to rapid up the development. Okay, so that was the main purpose of this demonstration video, you to show you how you can actually download and install the PostgreSQL database and its related components with it. Okay, so most of the time, as I maybe have said it before, I am repeating this one again, that most of the time we will be communicating or working with the ORM technologies in order to execute our DB operations. So, but it's always better to know the basics of database. So probably